Esports.
Yeah, and we saw that earlier for next play. This combo of Alistar Kai'Sa was deadly and a big reason why they were able to get ahead so quickly. But overall, still possible for the other side of Vanguard to make things happen for themselves. So they got Wukong, Miss Fortune, followed up also as Braum. Braum, Miss Fortune is a very common, very normal kind of duo matchup in the bottom side of the map. So I think that overall Miss Fortune Braum is going to work fantastically well. But here, I'm surprised. I really, really, truly am. That we see a Camille getting picked up into an Alistar. Alistar has the easiest kit when it comes down to denying the Hextech ultimatum away from a Camille. So I think that here, there could have been better opportunities instead of a Camille. A Kali was open, for example, which have been great. But they do have a pretty beefy front line, so I understand why a Kali was not good. But I think that there was better stuff than a Camille. Maybe a Malphite could have been great. Malphite has not getting banned today, and it was open a lot of the time. But there's going to be Camille instead. But talking about Malphite, yeah, Dan. Every time I mention a character, they get picked. I don't know what's happening there. They go for Malphite, which is going to be the top lane pickup, from what I understand, for the side of Liyab. So that means mid lane Gragas, which I said can be flexed anywhere. And because Malphite was available, Gragas Malphite, that is an amazing duo matchup.
Yeah. And I think, you know what? I've been wrong, Maxman. Team Vanguard is now going in for more of a balanced type of draft, wherein they've gotten those single targeted champions that are really, really strong. You have that Camille, you have that Ari to balance it all out. You have that Wukong, Braum, and Miss Fortune to go for those massive initiations from the mid game, late game, and you have those early potentials coming from that Ari and the Camille as well for the side of Team Vanguard. And for the other team, we have Team Liyab Esports taking the Gragas Malphite duo. I think you've stated already, very, very strong when it comes to initiating a fight. And you also have the Alistar and the Kai'Sa and the Vi as well. So overall, just a great setup for both of these teams.
Yeah, two drafts are going to be rather strong. There's still that usual combo. We're going to have a Wukong with a Braum, which works pretty damn good together if you execute properly on it. We'll see. I think that overall, so Gragas is a great pickup. It's very similar to having, for example, a Braum into a Miss Fortune. Reason why is because you got that barrel ultimate available, and if you see that she pops the bullet time, you can just alter from the Gragas and get things done and just move her away, displace her, and after that displacement you're going to cancel the ultimate instantly. But you got to be careful because we are seeing that sneaky 4-man invade coming on through from none other than Vanguard. They're going to be looking for the Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa did spot them out with that ward in the tri-bush, and they're going to go straight for the red buff. As Alistar, I would not deny that, my friend. This is clearly not worth it. But they should go for counter invade instead. But they're not doing a counter invade. So already Liyab is scaring me a little bit because they're going to lose a lot of gold through this.
Yeah. So let's see how it's going to turn out right now as the early invade is going to come through for the side of Team Vanguard. They just went in for that ward, which I think is also kind of important because this tri-bush is something that leads to a fight wherein champions are waiting for something to be set it up for your team. So just that deep ward is gonna put Team Vanguard knowledgeable on where a potential gank may occur, because typically I think that is the pathway of the junglers if they want to make a gank into that fight. So yeah, right now it's gonna be the early 300 gold lead or 500 gold lead for the side of Team Liyab Esports, as they're really just dominating the early farm of the game.
I think a reason for that also is because the bottom side, Braum was not present, but Braum followed up with a jungle invade and then went to somewhat assist in case a counter invade was coming on through, delayed away by Liyab, and he was actually towards the red side. So I think overall, this Braum sure wasn't doing anything impactful, but he was giving it insurance. He was just giving it a little bit of a safety net over to the rest of his team. So I think that overall, he was rotating extremely well around the map just to make sure that counter invade was not coming on through. But yeah, you got to keep in mind that, sure, we did have an invade coming out on through from Vanguard, but yet the gold lead is still in favor of Liyab. You just mentioned that one, Infinity, that the CS war is still heavily won by Liyab Esports. It's only putting the enemy jungler, which is going to be the Vi, at a little bit of a disadvantage. And even then, she's level 4 compared to the Wukong that's currently level 3. So really, that invade, sure, it worked out good, but it seems like they were a little bit too slow to get back to their respective lanes and take the fight. But bottom side, a big fight is happening.
It's Alistar gonna go for the knock-up as Braum went in for the flash back to safety, but you have Gragas here to follow through for the flank. And Miss Fortune, you're probably gonna go bye-bye as Liyab Esports rather is gonna take the first blood. He's gonna take the first win for this game. But now it's gonna be the Ari for that follow-up as, you know what, Vi with a flash This is still safe from harm. So 500 gold lead, 1k gold lead is going to the side of the Liyab Esports.
Very nice one indeed. I thought Gon was going to get it for a second, but that was still a really good consistent fight coming out from Liyab Esports, so it is looking like a pretty close matchup overall. Really good dive in the tower. They pick up the first blood for Liyab. That's going to give them that extra 500 gold you keep on talking about here, Infinity, so that's going to put them in a rather good spot to catch up and deny away that leader. Would have potentially gone the way on Vanguard, seeing how good that early invade happened, but unfortunately, it seems like that invade did not go as planned for the side of Vanguard, as Liyab still looking good so far. So we're 3 minutes into the game. Itemization-wise, you already got yourself the Locket Enchant getting picked up by our Alistar. Not going to get picked up yet, unfortunately, by the Braum. So that is something that they could potentially tend to use and abuse for their side if they execute on it properly. So if I were them, if I were Alistar, I would engage any fight I see. And as I say that, he does indeed. Followed up as a 3-man engage on the bottom side and absolutely obliterate the Braum. And because the Drake is just about to spawn in 20 seconds, this is also going to allow them to get, I believe, some good vision control all around to get that Scuttle Crab under control and get that extra vision. That's exactly it. They saw, also I believe, the itemization. They saw, yeah, he doesn't have a Locket Enchant. This is an easy fight to take, and they took it. Easy peasy, my dude.
And speaking of easy peasy right now, with that kill, it's going to be Liyab Esports sailing their dominance into Dragon's Pit, I think. Doing this is going to be an advantage as, the Wukong is still from the base trying to catch up into this objective. But now we're going to have another fight as we are converging into the riverside.
Great, Gragas ultimate is going to be able to displace so many people, but now he's going to go for the re-engage on the backline, put some solo, but where's the rest of your team? Vanguard, they are pushing on the backline. They are struggling for this one, but they're all going so damn low, and during that time, Liyab is still engaging. Great Hextech ultimatum. The Gragas put solo, but the Malphite goes for the re-engage, buys some time, and will be able to close off that fight. They're looking for the Camille. No, he gets it. He snipes it down with a rock, and that is going to be done. He gets lapidated down to nothingness, and that's 7-2 and 5 kill advantage going away to Liyab.
Imagine getting killed by a rock, Maxman. Imagine.
If the rock is called Dwayne, I'm okay with it. Okay?
Hey, nice.
It's very nice.
But now, yeah, very, very nice. But now it's going to be the 5-kill lead to the side of Liyab Esports, taking the 4k gold lead as well for their team and even an early dragon objective. So this is going to be a very good spot for Liyab Esports to take their dominance from the early game. Now, the question would be, is if they can translate this into the mid-game, late game, and if they can't, it's probably just going to be very hard for them to do so. Yeah, it's going to be another kill for the side of Liyab Esports into the mid lane.
Yep, not much you can do. Vanguard seem like they are struggling to remain relevant in this game. It's just going to go for the engage. Going to be forcing a flash away from CTRL. So overall control going to have to push out. And now Camille looks like she might be an easy target. But you know what? She's going to be slippery as Camille's usually are. Vanguard, they are still on the back foot. Trying to look for ways to get back into this. They lose the first Drake, which is very unfortunate for them. Especially when you're up against such a tanky team like the team of Liyab Esports. That Mountain Drake can end up being rather impactful. And now they're going to go for Herald, but there's no vision held down there for Vanguard in the Herald pit, so they just can't do much from that. And if they get the Herald, they already got the turret down in the top side. If they can now crack open the mid lane, this would make their map control even more drastic, even more impactful overall. So this game is already looking pretty dire for Vanguard, and it's already a 7,000 gold lead in 6 minutes. That is looking rather scary, I would say, here, Infinity. Oh.
And speaking of scary, it might be another clash. But they just disengage. And I think that's a smart move right now for the side of Team Vanguard. They know that they're at a massive disadvantage against Team Liyab Esports, and they're at a member disadvantage as well. Wherein Misfortune was still on the base, wherein Liyab Esports was trying to make a gank in that fight. So just a smart move coming in for the side of Team Vanguard.
Big fight coming on through. That's going to be the... Oh my god, that Alistar. Instant CC, and that's just a melted Ari. The Fox goes back to hibernation, apparently. There's a tower in bot lane. Going to be melted down pretty quickly. Unfortunately, the wave's not there, so they're going to have to delay it a little bit, but that's not too much of an issue. And they're increasing that gold lead again every single time. And now it's up to 9,000 gold lead and still counting. So here, Infinity, really, the comeback is still possible when you're looking at it for Vanguard, but when you're so far behind, this is looking very, very scary. I'm not going to lie. You making a comeback from such a disadvantage at this stage of the game in just 8 minutes is so hard to execute, it barely happens.
And it's just so confusing, right? Ari was too far from his team. I think he wanted to make a gank, he wanted to make a play from the flank, but I think that wouldn't be as smart of a move considering that you're at a massive disadvantage and they were already safe at that time, but they were still keep on going in for that pressure, which is something that is very, very unfortunate for their team, which they lost that fight in the end. But now it's into the mid lane as
What?
Ari gets picked off very easily.
Oh my god, this Ari's just getting cyberbullied right now. You gotta call the cyber police. This is not looking fun whatsoever. Malphite gonna go for the re-engage. Redemption comes on through. Also, he's taking that 1-1v3, but will he be able to find the fight? That could be great, and his team is there to back him up. Hectic ultimated on top. He's going so damn low. The bullet time also comes on through, and yet this Malphite, for some way, is able to survive by taking it back. He does go down eventually, as now it's a 1v3. Way too deep for the Brawl, man. Without his team, he can't do anything. As Gragas in the bottom side also going to have a sneaky split push. Drake just pops up on the map. It's going to be the Mountain Drake. Oh, man. They engage just so well. They always find these opportunities to find one player out of position and punish that missed position from Vanguard. Liyab not doing any mistakes right now. This is just such a clean gameplay coming out from them.
But this might be the first mistake that could potentially happen, as Gragas was just so smart to avoid that so far, as he is still safe, and just a failed gank for the side of Vanguard into the Dragon Lane.
Man, this one is this is looking like an L for Vanguard. And I mean, look, because you never know. But Vanguard, they are not having... They're not gaming right now. They're not having a true gamer moment, which... when you're not gaming, what are you doing? Nothing, exactly. Baron, spawning in the next 30 seconds. Now 25, I would say, is a little bit closer. And still, the vision... The main issue also we're seeing here, there's no vision control for Vanguard. The lack of vision control makes those Drakes and those Heralds and those Barons just so easy to overtake. And that's the reason why you'll see in the entirety of Liyab just staying in a bush as a 3 or 4-man team and just waiting for someone to walk by, because they know as a straight up fact that no one is going to be clearing those visions. They got 2 sweepers for themselves and they are clearing everything. Herald popped very late, but regardless, it's popped. Going to be into the bottom side. That's going to be some good map pressure potentially coming on through. And here we go. Another 2 sweepers coming out to make sure they can clear all the vision in the enemy jungle so they can move around the map as they like without any pressure coming out that way. And because of that clear once again, that should normally be an easy Baron. But I think the Wukong has a good idea of what's happening. Seeing Gragas so far forward, it should intel and give them the intel that they are indeed going to go for the Baron. But Gragas on the front line solo, doesn't matter taking it. Maybe the smite away, but no, secured by the Vi. And the VGA popped away for the Monkey. Big miss of the ultimate, unfortunately. And the Kai'Sa, she's diving that one 1v3. She's getting the damage, but not going to get overconfident. Not going to get overzealous. As Gragas is still diving it. Trying to hit the barrel. Will not be able to hit it onto Gon just yet. But that Baron, that is sealing the game. They could close it here and now if they decide to do so.
And speaking of sealing the deal, we're now going in for that inhibitor turret for the side of Liyab Esports, getting that Baron buff, as Alistar really just wants to go for kills.
I mean, he's got his ultimate, man. You can't kill that guy. Now his ultimate is going to be off entirely, back in cooldown, but the Monkey also going to go pretty deep. Not too sure what Control's trying to do. I think he's going to try and take the engage on top of this Malphite. I mean, this would be a great opportunity. Malphite, though, I believe his ultimate is on a very short cooldown, so he should be able to use it to escape if needed. And also, he's got that really short back potential because of the Baron buff, so he's looking to be in a really good spot. And yeah, look at that gold lead. It speaks for itself here, of course, Infinity. That gold lead is through the roof.
We've seen 10k gold lead. We've seen 12k gold lead. But this is on another level, having 16k gold lead to the side of Liyab Esports. And we might just see another 13-minute game, Max, man. But I'm still not going to jinx it, as there is still a potential for the side of Team Vanguard to try and make a play if possible. And if they got an ace, if they get the next objective, this might be the opposite side going to the side of Team Vanguard. But let's see how it's going to turn out, as Team Liyab Esports wants to finish it here and then.
You're going to see Malphite dive under the Nexus. They're going to get the other tower. Now, all the towers are down. All they have available currently is going to be the Nexus. So these waves are going to push super hard. Redemption just to heal up and make it sure you're 100 HP. Great double man knockup from the Alistar. Braum trying to bring some CC to peel for the table, but it's not going to be enough. The bullet time deals some actually really good damage, but they do not care about the kills. They do not care about Vanguard. All they care about is the Nexus, and that allows them to secure an easy win in less than 12 minutes. GG, well played. Liyab Esports win the Filipino showdown, should I say. It was a shutdown, true. That's actually pretty good. So at the end of the day, that is going to be a dominant win from the side of Liyab. Every game today has just been an easy one-sided fight every single time. And Vanguard, this is unfortunate, but the adventure does not stop here regardless. It's still the group.